Hello there.
Yes, hello there, and welcome to another episode of Star Wars Lore featuring Sebulba's Podracer. Now, although pod racing was supposed to be a test of skill and driving expertise, Sebulba flouted race rules time and time again through a combination of outright sabotage and direct attack. Now, that the Dug was never disqualified from a race actually said a lot about the borderline legality of pod racing, where such sneaky activities were ignored by race organisers who saw the occasional crash as an added thrill for race fans. As well as vandalising his competitors' pod races prior to the race, as he did with Anakin Skywalker's Podracer during the Boonta Eve Classic, and planting faulty tools such as sabotage reactant leak sniffers, Sebulba also carried secret weapons, illegally mounted on his Podracer in hidden compartments. Now, from his cockpit sled, Sebulba operated a rudimentary handheld sensor jamming unit that could foul the data readings of other racers within range of its para-frequency modulators. Generally, however, the Dug preferred to use a more deadly and fast-acting weapon. Now, during some races early in his career, Sebulba used a rearward firing nail cannon to blast metal shards into the engine intakes of pod racers behind him, and a spinning razor saw blade with which to cut at engine control lines and fuel pipes. He even used a concealed flame emitter that vented hot exhaust gases toward any racer attempting to overtake him. Sebulba learnt early on that he was actually not talented enough to make it to champion status, so his deadly race violations gave him the edge he needed. From using secret weapons to tossing a metal tool into the ducts of a pursuing pod racer. Now, committed out of range of the pod race camera droids that monitored the races, these deeds went unseen by pod race fans. Sebulba and his Split X racer met their match at the Boonta Eve Classic on Tatooine, however, when the Dug's main rival was the young Anakin Skywalker, whose scratch-built pod used fast Raiden Uza 620C engines. After dispatching several competitors through cheating and foul plays, Sebulba eventually found himself neck and neck with Skywalker on the final lap. Now, the Dug tried to ram Anakin's machine into the desert sands with the sheer mass of his mammoth engines, but in his eagerness to win, he misjudged the strength of his control cables, which snapped and sent the plug F thrusters flying. Then Sebulba coasted to a halt, uninjured in his cockpit sled, while his engines crashed and shattered. The Dug's pride was dented and he lost the race. But rather than admit defeat, he used prize money from previous races to buy Skywalker's winning pod racer from Qui-Gon Jinn and return to race again. Now, no one actually knew how Sebulba became a pod racer. However, it was undeniable that he quickly became one of the best known racers on the interstellar pod racing circuit, speeding to victory in competitions like Tatooine's Boonta Eve Classic through a combination of skill, cunning, and just outright cheating. Now, at the height of his racing prowess, Sebulba constructed an impressive pod racer, a machine with massive engines that outstripped other large racers such as those of Clegg Holdfast, Rats Tyrrell, and Odi Mantell. In fact, many observers suspected that Sebulba's pod racer broke several size and power regulations, but no race officials ever challenged the odious Dug on this point. Now, clad in a distinctively shaped hull painted in black and orange with silver trim, Sebulba's pod racer was powered by a matched pair of Plug F Mammoth racing engines, manufactured by the Kolar Pondrat yards. Sebulba's vehicle was known in racing parlance as a Split X configuration, because the massive air intakes and radiator housings resembled an X shape when viewed head-on. At full throttle, this formidable pod racer could reach a top speed of around about 829 km an hour, and the powerful repulsive generators that kept it aloft could send it to an altitude of 85 meters, although for the most part the speeding pod racer tended to hug the contours of the track. Now, the Dug's cockpit sled, trailing at the end of two control cables, was a relatively cramped affair, small and streamlined no doubt to save weight after the large Plug F engines. At just under 4 meters in length, the cockpit was custom built to accommodate the unusual frame of a Dug, a species capable of using their feet and hands interchangeably. A series of simple pedals and levers operated the threader unit that lengthened or shortened the engine control cables for steering, while a single monitor screen displayed readings from a data transmission bank, monitoring all important engine conditions such as pressure, temperature, and coolant levels. Other gauges provided readouts for pyrometers in the pod racer's pre-feed chamber and main combustion chamber, in addition to data on the aeration mix, and the second stage fuel flow rates. The remainder of the sled housed twin control power generators and drums on its flanks, a pulse lift generator and a mini acceleration compensator unit. And to top it all off, the engines were fueled by tritium power fluid pressurized with cold rhenium, activated with ionized injectorant, just to give the pod an extra speed boost, which, according to the rules, was actually illegal. And that is Sebulba's Podracer in a nutshell. So, thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed the video, I'll talk to you all in the next one, and until then, may the force be with you.